Yes, sorry, I just didn't have a hand free. Good morning. Yep, no worries. Our second destination of the 2024 NASCAR Whelen Euro Series season provided some exciting, intense, and only occasionally controversial racing on the Saturday. A couple of bumps, scrapes, incidents and accidents, but all part of the fun of the EuroNASCAR package. EuroNASCAR 2 is about to go racing for round 4 of their season. Race 2 of the weekend here at the Autodromo di Vallelunga, a circuit we have been coming to in EuroNASCAR for many seasons now. A circuit that suits these cars down to a T, and one that we're always very excited to go to. It is going to be a compelling race, this one, 15 laps in length, unless there is a safety car. As we saw yesterday, there is now the option in the rulebook that allows for added laps if there is a safety car, period. So, for example, if we have 2 laps under the safety car, then the race will extend up to 17 laps. That caps off at a time limit of 40 minutes. So we could have really anywhere between about 4 or 5 additional laps if absolutely required, depending on the length of the circuit. Of course, 2 divisions of EuroNASCAR. If you're joining one of our broadcasts for the first time, the cars are identical in both EuroNASCAR 2 and EuroNASCAR Pro, to the point where, for the most part, it's the same chassis racing in both categories. So that is an important talking point to discuss as well. These guys share cars across the 2 categories, and obviously that means it's a bit of a white-knuckle watch for some of those EuroNASCAR Pro drivers this morning. They will be racing just after lunchtime here today, but they've got to watch their cars go out and do EuroNASCAR 2 in the meantime. The grid for today's race is set by the fastest laps from yesterday. Ergo, race winner Martin Dubeck has an opportunity to do it all again. He will be on pole position. The championship leader, who currently has a 66% hit rate this year, 2 wins from 3 races. He's alongside his Hendricks Motorsport teammate, that is Jill Linster. Roberto Benedetti is 3rd fastest. As we get a look at some of the point standings, Martin Dubeck's lead has gone up considerably now, and it's Thomas Tuffel who is his closest competition, 15 points back. Jill Linster, after a mixed fortune weekend at the Circuit Ricardo Tormo in Valencia, our season opener, he sits 3rd, and De Wunderkind, the youngster Julian Reberg, right up there 4th in the overall standings. You saw your points, your subcategory points leaders as well. The Lady Trophy, the Rookie Trophy, and the Legend Trophy are 3 subclasses of this category. Of course, proven that the EuroNASCAR category is the EuroNASCAR 2 category is a springboard up to EuroNASCAR Pro, and from there you can even go further than that, potentially into the all-important national US-based series in the NASCAR scene in America. Of course, our 2015 EuroNASCAR 2 champion is our current reigning EuroNASCAR Pro champion. So Gianmarco Ercoli, one of many drivers who will consider this his home race, is of course our defending champ over in EuroNASCAR Pro in this car, the 54 machine that is driven by Sven Van Leer in this race, and he was a graduate of EuroNASCAR 2. And of course Martin Dubeck, our leader in the current EuroNASCAR 2 championship, he double dips. He does both EuroNASCAR 2 and EuroNASCAR Pro in the number 7 Hendricks Motorsport entry, and back in 2021 he was EuroNASCAR 2 champion. Great field of drivers this year. We've got a mix of returning stars. We've also got a few drivers such as Julian Reberg, such as Florian Richard, who came up through the EuroNASCAR driver recruitment program, which took place at the start of the calendar year. And we always see exciting talents come through there, but it feels like there's just a little something extra about a few members of this year's rookie class. It really does feel like we're looking at some youngsters who will move up through the ranks as time goes on. Unfortunately, there are, in some cases, withdrawals from this race, and in one instance, a potential withdrawal. The number 5 car, Claudio Remeggio Capelli, who of course was fighting for the lead on the first lap when he got sent into a spin, and the net result of that of course was quite a damaged car, and unfortunately for Claudio Remeggio Capelli, he will not get to take part in this race this morning. Quickly, question marks over the number 3 car. Paul Giffreau, of course, is the driver of that car in Pro. It's Patrick Schauber who drives the car in EuroNASCAR 2. And there are some question marks to be made about whether Patrick Schauber is going to make it out there or not. We'll keep an eye out for the RDV competition number 3 car. And that potential issue could affect not just Schauber, but also Paul Giffreau. It's quite possible that we've seen the last of the RDV competition chassis this weekend. But a big shame that Claudio Remeggio Capelli, the eccentric Italian racer who this weekend is doing both EuroNASCAR 2 and National Legends racing here at Vallelunga, sadly his stint in the big V8 car has come to an end, and he's all about the American lifestyle. He very succinctly said that all other series in Europe are the same soup, and he's all about the American life. I think he has a Harley, among other things. There you see Jill Lindster pulling up to the front row of the grid. Less than 10 minutes until the countdown to the command is given. The most famous words in motorsport will be belted, and then it will be time to go racing. What about Roberto Benedetti then? He is on the second row of the grid, and he could well play a spoiler in this race. He looks very strong here this weekend. Of course, this is his home circuit too. Oh my goodness, Andre, what a hat. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Adam. Good morning, Martin Dubek. Starting from Paul today, what does it take to make the sweep perfect and win 2 races in Italy?
Yesterday was a nice race. I started from P3 and I won, so today it should be easier to win. Let's see what happened. I hope no rain, and I will do my maximum for the podium and for win.
All right, thank you so much. Good luck. And we already saw one team with rain tires ready, but I don't think there will be rain coming. I'm looking at the sky. It's all good, but some people may expect some sprinkles here today.
I always get my meteorology advice from cowboys. Thanks for that, Andre. Doesn't sound like we'll get any rain then. This circuit is a challenge at the best of times. 15 corners, including some real white knuckle sweepers. Of course, the Curva Grande Turn 2, the first kind of proper corner of the circuit, is taken basically flat out, but it is one that is certainly a challenge for the drivers, especially side-by-side off the 2x2 rolling start. Some great overtaking opportunities to be had around the circuit as well. Turns 4 and 5, you can see them going side-by-side through there. We saw Thomas Tuffel with the move of the day yesterday at turn 7 on your track map there. Some very impressive racing was had yesterday, and we look forward to seeing more of it again. Perhaps from this man, Thomas Grossonis, with Andre.
Thank you so much. You were really fast yesterday in the race. We see it with the starting position for today. You want to get the podium finally in EuroNASCAR too?
It's something, that we worked for a lot last year to prepare a competitive car. We were unlucky in the qualifying, but as you saw yesterday, in terms of race pace, we are very fast. So the goal for today is to follow the 2 cars in front, and hopefully to have a battle with them in the end to decide who is going to be on what position on the podium. Anything else, it will not please me, as a result.
All right, thank you so much and good luck. Have fun. Back to you, Adam.
National anthems. And we'll now go to our national anthems. There are the national anthems of the United States and of Italy, the home nation of NASCAR and the home nation of the American Festival of Rome, are coming together as we are just moments away from going racing here at Vallelunga. 2 minutes and 20 seconds until the countdown to command is given. Just time to go back to the front row with Andre.
I just wanted to have one quick more. Next to you, Martin Dubeck, I have a déjà vu right now, but how you want to win this race today?
Yeah, I think the first thing to do is just to get a little gap together with Martin, and for sure if we are close enough at the end, for sure try to win that race.
All right, thank you so much. Good luck. We're waiting for the command.
Interesting. So perhaps they will work together in the early stages of the race then. That sounds like the strategy from Jill Lindstedt. Andre will now head upstairs towards us and join us in the commentary box as the countdown to command is given. We look forward to welcoming him back in. Pageantry and the festivities are almost over here. We are soon going to have the engines roar into life. And for the last time this weekend, the EuroNASCAR 2 drivers will go racing. Who among those Hendricks Motorsport drivers will be the leader early on? It's all well and good saying that Jill will work together with Martin Dubeck to build a lead in the early going, but what that doesn't confirm is whether Jill's happy to take second place early on. Will they race each other to try and figure out who leads the breakaway queue, thus making sure there is no breakaway queue? That is quite a distinct possibility. For Martin Dubeck, though, he will be thinking long game, I'm sure. He wants to keep that red banner on his windscreen, which means that he is our championship leader. And as you saw, he is our championship leader by considerable margin.
Ready to cheer drivers. I'm happy and excited to be here and take part of this incredible moment. Dear worders, so without any further delay, drivers,
One Loco commentary box. He's got gravitas. Good man. That is the musician, Cameroonian musician Loco, providing the countdown to command conclusion. The famous words of motorsport: drivers, start your engines. And the drivers are all too keen to accept the request. And we are now hearing the rumble of these fabulous stock cars as we get ready to roll on the formation lap. They will be in 2x2 formation as this race gets underway. One last opportunity to try and get these Hoosier tyres up to temperature. Of course, this rubber has already done a qualifying session and yesterday's race, so for quite a few of these drivers, their hopes and dreams within this race depend solely on, well, how much they've left for themselves in terms of grit. The cars are rolling then, and Martin Dubeck leads the field away on this formation lap. He will be our pole sitter alongside Jill Linster. Roberto Benedetti and Thomas Chrysonis share the second row of the grid. Then it's Melvin de Groot and Florian Richard. Vladimir Osiortsis on row 4 alongside the man who sits second in the championship. That is Thomas Duvel. In 9th place is Simone Giussani alongside Thomas Dombrovski. Jack Davidson 11th. He's alongside Julian Rehberg. Of course, these grid positions based on yesterday's fastest laps, so some of the drivers who are well in the top half dozen have to start from further back this time. Mario Ercoli stands 13th alongside Marzi, and that's an all Vict Motorsport row 7. Strickler and Blakemolen on row 8. Schack and Rahala on row 9. Van Laar and Sardeja on row 10. Casoli starting 21st. Victor Neumann hopefully is there. His car was damaged yesterday. We know that Claudio Remeggio Capelli seemingly not taking the start weekend over, as we understand it, from the number 5 crew. And I don't think that Patrick Schauber is there either. I believe, though, that someone who is here with us might well now be Andre. Let's just confirm that. Andre, have you made the climb up towards your commentary position? Oh, maybe not. He will be with us shortly, though, in the commentary box. Of course, Andre doing the double shift. We appreciate him doing that very much. But the cars are just getting that final heat cycle now through the tyres. Curious to see how the likes of Julian Rehberg make it through the order in this race. Perhaps Mario Ercoli, Jack Davidson as well could be drivers that make their way through the pack in this one. This final sector, of course, of the Vallelunga circuit, particularly in the early going, in the first couple of laps when everyone is close together. Some very interesting racing goes down through this section. And just being informed that number 3 car is there. Yes, we can see it at the back of the grid, so a great job from the RDV competition team. The experience and potency of RDV competition applies not just to the car when it's working, but also when it needs to be repaired. And I'm sure Patrick Schauber probably was getting his hands dirty, making sure he could take the start of this race as well. There you see the number 3 car at the very back of the order. Good job then from RDV competition. We've got a nice full grid of EuroNASCAR machinery. Rolling thunder hits the hills of Outer Rome as the cars go racing for the second time this weekend in EuroNASCAR 2. And it's Martin Dubek who has the pole position, but will he have the lead? I'm not so sure. Look at Benedetti on the inside there. He got his nose cut off in a big way. Chrysonis is in 3rd position then. Thomas Chrysonis wants that podium and currently sits in position for it. Dubek still holding the inside line through turns 4, turns 5, and Jill Linster slots in behind him. Will the 2 Hendricks Motorsport cars now start to work together to try and get away from Chrysonis? The Marco Stipp Motorsport driver having one of the best weekends we've ever seen him have to this point. Really looks competitive in the orange and black machine. Linster still trying to go around the outside here of Martin Dubek as they power out of turn 6. There's been an incident further back. Jack Davidson was off the circuit and there was another car being tagged into a spin facing the wrong way at turn 7, I thought. There you see Chrysonis just tagging the rear of Jill Linster. Benedetti is still there in 4th position, I believe. But Dubek leads the field just ahead of the 50 car. Then it's Chrysonis, then it's Benedetti, then it's Melvin de Groot in 5th position. Oh, and Thomas Dombrowski with his bonnet up over the roof by the looks of it. Unfortunately, we did see Jack Davidson going off the circuit, and Jack Davidson looks like he might well be out of the race. Dombrowski is going around by the looks of it with a bonnet up and on his windscreen. I wouldn't be surprised to see the 66 team Blake Molan car then in after this lap, because that car is wounded, and sure enough in the back of shot we do see it turn towards pit lane. So dramas, was it just those 2 cars? I thought there was at least 3 off the circuit at the long sweeping right-hander that is turn 7. But at the front of the order it is Martin Dubek with an early lead, Linster in 2nd place, and then it's Chrysonis in 3rd position. Benedetti in the group rounding out the overall top 5. Siortzis, Tafel, Richard, Reberg and Marzi bringing us down to 10th place. A very good start actually from Marzi in the number 9 car. There is Jack Davidson recovering back to the pit lane. I believe Dombrowski has also gone into the pits, as I said. Benedetti, though, pressuring and passing Chrysonis on the run down to turn 7. A late braking move there, perhaps not quite as spectacular as what we saw out of Thomas Tafel yesterday, and Chrysonis is fighting back. Has the outside line though for the following corner. Can Benedetti hold the high ground? Yes, he can. And look at that bit of a block pass there, trying to stifle the run of Chrysonis out of that corner. Great side-by-side, wheel-to-wheel action here. Benedetti up to 3rd place. Both of these drivers, Andre, Benedetti and Chrysonis, having a really good start, or having a really good weekend to this point, whereas Melvin de Groot getting involved with this battle as well really just hasn't had a good year so far in EuroNASCAR. Benedetti out wide though at the hairpin. He loses out. That's unfortunate for him. Just ran out of traction. Car looked tight on corner entry there, and that drops him down to what, I think 7th position, unfortunately. But even with that little error, both Chrysonis and Benedetti have really impressed me this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. It was an amazing battle right here. A little bit unlucky for Benedetti, but he's settled behind Thomas Toffel. But Chrysonis, he wants to have the podium. He told me before the race, the top 3 is the aim, the goal, and he's really putting a lot of effort into it. He really wants to get this milestone in his career with Marco Stipp Motorsport, but now he's under pressure by the 69 car, by Melvin de Groot. He needs to get points, he needs to get a good position in, but now we have Vladimir Siortzis joining the battle as well as Thomas Toffel, and we know that Toffel has what it takes to make incredible passes here in Italy. So this is an exciting start to a very, very interesting race that will close the EuroNASCAR 2 here at the NASCAR GP Italy at the Autodromo di Vallelunga. got Martin Dubek, incredibly fast at the start. Jill Linster tried to follow him, but it seems like we have another Hendricks Motorsport domination here at this track. They're really, really good.
Yeah, the Hendricks crew have those cars really hooked up to Fell there, bouncing across the sausage curbs. You've got to be very careful of that on the outside of that turn, because as we heard from Jack Davidson yesterday, bouncing across them very, very heavily indeed did the Brit, and that did damage the car ultimately coming out of turn 8, that Serrate corner. Of course, the turn 7, where it all went wrong on the first lap, is known as Campagnano. We went down there a few days ago with these thunderous EuroNASCAR machines, brought EuroNASCAR closer to the public and made sure everyone knew what was in town this weekend. The fans already rolling in here this morning to see the EuroNASCAR 2 action. I'm sure we're going to have a close to full house on Sunday on Sunday afternoon, a few hours time, when we have the EuroNASCAR Pro cars out there. Dubek and Linster, though, really pulling away as they planned, as Jill Linster foretold. 3.3 seconds is the gap between Linster and Chrysonis. It's about a sec. Oh, Chrysonis wide. Chrysonis wide at turn 4. Too much speed into that corner. And Melvin de Groot carries on then into third position. Melvin, a very quick driver, someone that we kind of wondered whether he'd be fighting for the overall championship, regardless of any Legend Trophy efforts. He's in that same kind of bracket as Claudio Remeggio Capelli, as someone who can challenge for overall wins despite being in the Legend Trophy subcategory. Very quick, very handy driver, but that 69 car was all but cursed seemingly at the opening weekend in Valencia. Both he and Sebastian Blakemolen seem to carry on getting caught up in incidents at the Circuit Ricardo Tormo. He'll be delighted to be in third place with some clear track space ahead of him. The next goal, of course, is to try and get away from Chrysonis, and perhaps Vladimiros Tsiortsis can help him with that. Tsiortsis in the Alex Cathy Academy Motorsport car. They're having a look to the inside of Chrysonis. And those two, if they start fighting each other, that'll give the 69 team Blakemolen entry the opportunity and give Melvin de Groot the opportunity to drive up the road and maybe even go Hendricks Motorsport hunting.
Yeah, we have a really nice battle. 5 cars involved for third place, and I think we're going to have 10 more exciting laps there. Melvin de Groot cannot really pull away. He did a really good job putting Chrysonis under pressure, and he cracked a little bit with this little mistake. Now he's trying to fight back, but Melvin de Groot, he has the pace and the patience to be there and to defend. We saw it in the past that he's a really calm driver, not doing many mistakes, and that may be the key to retain this third position. And Vladimir Tsiortsis, yeah, he's trying and trying and trying, but at the moment he finds no way past the 46 car, and we have a 10-second penalty for causing an avoidable collision for the 48 car. This is Nick Strickler, the teammate of Thomas Chrysonis in the 48 Chevrolet Camaro, fielded by Markus Stipp Motorsport. So the first penalty coming in. But when I see a battle like this, and remember, Adam, yesterday we had a lot of 5-second penalties for track limits. When you're in a battle like this, you are even forced to leave the track a little bit, and we have to check if there are warnings coming in or if there's something about the track limits again, because when you're in a fight, it's really easy to leave the legal paths of the track. So we have to check that.
And of course, a little bit of discretion is taken on those track limit rulings. For instance, when Chrysonis went massively wide at turn 4 a few moments ago, that more than likely will have not been chalked up as a track limits violation because, of course, well, firstly, he lost time. Secondly, definitely wasn't intentional. It's when you're perceived to have gained an advantage from track limits that you turn out to be in some trouble. Tsiortsis not straying outside the track limits certainly, but the rear end on that car at turn 15 maybe just straying a little bit from the Cypriot driver's grasp, and Julian Reberg unfortunately is in the gravel at the last corner. Turn 15 has claimed its first driver of the weekend, at least in the races, embedded into the gravel trap has gone Julian Reberg in the promotion 77 car. A huge shame for the driver who looks so good so far this season in EuroNASCAR 2. We've got Roberto Benedetti slowing down in the back of shot as well. We just saw that to the left top of screen, Benedetti is slowing and indeed stopping at turn 5. Now that car is quite close to the racing surface, and if he can't get that fired up again, I suspect we could be under full course yellow. We'll see what happens on that one. Tufel, meanwhile, still pursuing Vladimiros Siortzis, who in turn is chasing Chrysonis in this battle for 4th place. As we somewhat expected, Melvin de Groot has disappeared up the road and now has a lead of, I'd say that's looking like something like 2 seconds at this point now between he and Chrysonis in 4th position. Let's keep an eye then. Yes, full course yellow is out as expected. What a shame though for Roberto Benedetti. He looked so strong yesterday, had a great starting position today, and unfortunately his weekend ends beside the circuit rather than on the podium.
Yeah, and I'm really sad for Julian Rehberg, who won 3 races in the Rookie Trophy already this season. And I talked to him before the race, and he's really surprised by his performance. He never expected to be one of the Rookie Trophy contenders. But I think now he has to learn one lesson, that you cannot have a perfect weekend all day long. Sometimes you are involved in incidents like that, and now he's losing some positions, and I think I was really surprised by hearing some of the engine noises going up. So here's Julian Rehberg for the first time in his EuroNASCAR career that he has to end a race earlier. He's not the Rookie Trophy winner today, but I think he will learn from that as well, and I will ask afterwards what happened there, why he's in the gravel. I'm really curious to understand what happened to the 77 Remotion Chevrolet there. And yeah, we wait for the cars to be cleared from the track, and then we go back racing here at Vallelunga.
With the issue for Julian Rehberg, then it's worth circling around to the Rookie Trophy. I believe it will be Florian Richard then that is leading the way in the Rookie Trophy, and oh dear, well, a clearer view of at least what's wrong with the car, perhaps not how it happened, but you can see there that the front left suspension is certainly not doing well on the 77 car. So both the 77 and the 88 currently being recovered by the Vallelunga marshals, and Martin Dubeck and Jill Linster. Of course, they'll be hoping this remains a safety car, a full course yellow. The last thing they want is a safety car, because they were building that lead very efficiently, somewhere in the region of 4 or 5 seconds before the full course yellow came out. A really strong lead over Melvin de Groot in 3rd place, and indeed the rest of the pack. The last thing they'd want is to have that ebbed away from them, but that does happen sometimes in motorsport, doesn't it? It's one of those catch-22 situations that can catch you out. The same thing applies as well with maybe leaving it until late in the session to go for a flying lap in qualifying. There's every chance that you finally get a flying lap started and then the red flag comes out and that's your qualifying done. These things do happen, and unfortunately that might well end up being the case. We haven't seen any information to suggest a safety car yet, but certainly fingers will be crossed at Hendricks Motorsport that we don't end up with one. This is a replay of the start then. Benedetti was bowled off the line, almost got to the inside of Dubeck, but that would ultimately cost him 3rd place to Thomas Chrysonis. Benedetti, though, would make the dive down at turn 8, turn 7, a great move there from him. Chrysonis would stray wide a couple of laps later. Melvin de Groot would therefore move up to P3. And I'm so disappointed for Benedetti. He was having a really good weekend on his home soil. His weekend will now be over, but he'll get to take in the EuroNASCAR Pro Race just like everybody else. Full course yellow procedure is under investigation, so perhaps there have been some shenanigans under this full course yellow. We'll have to wait and see there. Dubeck and Linster continue to trundle around, waiting for information as to when we may go green. Very quick looking through the hairpin, but of course they can go through there quite fast, even with the limiter on. And still under FCY for now. We're on lap, my screen says lap 7 of the race. I think that is the case. And we are very much looking forward to this one getting back underway. Do you think peace is going to remain between Dubek and Linster? I get the feeling that with the length of their lead now, I think that once this green flag comes back out, I think that Linster is probably going to see the all clear in his head, if not from his team, to go for the move.
Oh yes, he will go for it. I don't think he's making a difference between a normal driver or his teammate when it's about the win. They all want to be in victory lane. We see one car in victory lane, not three cars, so you want to be there. And I'm really curious if he's ready for a signature move. So hopefully we will see that throughout this season. Maybe today, maybe not, but I guess that there will be a thrilling battle between the Hendrix Motorsport drivers, but I guess they will play fair. They will have a fair battle at the front. I don't think that Roy Hendrix wants to see both cars clash again, and that he talked to his drivers what to do, what is allowed, what they can do, what they cannot do. So I guess it's going to be a fair battle, because in the end, the team doesn't want to lose any points. The cars are also entered in the team's endurance championship, the 7 for its own, the 50 for its own, but it's all about getting the points in and the results in, and therefore Roy Hendrix, he would love to have a 1-2 finish and that they just battle it out in a fair and square way.
We're about to go back to
we
green
got ready
flag
for the countdown.
racing.
Yep.
Yeah, and just curious then, you said Jill Linster's signature move. What's that? Pray tell as we go back to green flag.
I cannot tell you. I cannot tell you. He told me to keep it a secret till his next victory.
Okay, interesting. We'll figure that one out. Siortsis to the inside of Thomas Chrysonis here, side by side for, well, that is now going to be for 5th position, because Thomas Tefel has leapfrogged both of them. So Tefel is up into 4th position, Chrysonis in 5th place. Then it's Siortsis going around the outside of Siortsis. There is Florian Richard in 7th place. So Florian trying to move through the order. And then you've got the pair of drivers from Vict Motorsport having a very strong morning. Mario Ercoli involved in that scrap. There goes Chrysonis to the inside of Thomas Tefel, though, side by side as they approach the tight and twisty final sector. Tefel with the inside line, squeezing Chrysonis out as much as possible. Both of them struggling on the brakes a little bit there. Siortsis now wanting to get involved with that as well if he possibly can. Chrysonis thought he might try and ease off the brakes and have a go there. Marzi does, though. He gets through and past Florian Richard. Mario Ercoli now on the back of Florian Richard. Of course, that's important for the rookie trophy honours. Side by side between Siortsis and Chrysonis, as Tefel has made good his escape there through the final few corners of this lap. Siortsis now trying to hold on around the outside. It's a fairly banked final corner, but nonetheless Chrysonis' inside line paid off there. They begin lap 9 of the race. We've got a brilliant battle going on here. Marzi in the Vict Motorsport car now under increasing scrutiny from Florian Richard, who he passed just a few corners ago. And the Speedhouse driver will be looking to try and get past if he can. Here comes Siortsis, looking late on the brakes there. Seems a little more confident in that number 1 car, the new chassis, than he was yesterday. Looking to start getting racy, get back up to speed, and show us the form that made Vladimiros so special over the last couple of years. Chrysonis, though, getting better and better each time we see him in recent times, and he is staving off the advances in that battle for 5th place, at least for the time being.
Yeah, this is so much fun. They're really putting a good show on track. Everything is fair. They're trying to make the overtakes, the passes, and really like is that it all went the right way at the moment. And now big contacts, a little bit of trading the paint, but they really try to keep it fair at the track. And yeah, we are now on lap 10, I guess, of the race, and it was battles. So pure racing in EuroNASCAR as we like it. But this time, Adam, I have to leave you a little bit earlier because I have to pick something up.
Ooh, okay.
No, nothing. No secrets there. No secrets there. It's just a job I have to do.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was
Yeah.
going to say, what are you and Jill Linster planning? Anyway.
No.
Thank you very much.
You cannot get something out of that. We have to wait for Linster's next win for that.
Okay, fair
All right,
enough.
see you later.
Fair enough. Good luck, mate. 5 laps then left of this race. We're on lap 10 now as Thomas Chrysonis kicks up the dust in front of Vladimir Siortsis. Siortsis deep into the braking zone there at turn 4. The car looks fairly uneasy under braking. Looks quite rearward, quite loose under braking. Your order on this stage of the race is Dubek from Linster. Their gap is 6.5 seconds back to Melvin de Groot in 3rd place. Thomas Tefel another 10 seconds or so back from the Dutchman. And then Chrysonis in 5th place under his pressure from Vladimiros Siortsis. There's Florian Richard now behind both Victor Motorsport cars, so Erkeli and Marzi ahead of the 33 car. So Florian Richard is just being shown the way a little bit here by the local drivers, Italian team, Italian drivers, Valerio Marzi and Mario Erkeli, the stepbrother of our reigning EuroNASCAR Pro Champion Gianmarco Erkeli, putting the defensive moves on there. He's come a long way from a confidence and a driving perspective since we saw him debut at Oschersleben last year. Has really started to look fairly slick. I suspect that it won't be long before we're talking about another Erkeli race winner. Of course, we've had siblings win races before in EuroNASCAR. Most famously, of course, Loris and Liam Hazemans have both not only won races but secured championships here in EuroNASCAR, so it's certainly anything but unprecedented. Oh, Mario Erkeli very loose there coming out of Curva Grande, turn 2 of this circuit. And stream on through the Fimini corners. Richard kicking up some grass there, certainly. Campagnano is turn 7, and that's where Siortsis is later on the brakes there than Chrysonis. I thought for a minute there was going to be contact, and eventually there was some contact there between the two of them. A bit of a kiss to the bumper. Again, this Autodromo di Vallelunga, 2.5 miles, 4 kilometres, almost 4.1 kilometres in length, really does lend itself to this EuroNASCAR racing. We see that time and time and time again. Siortsis and Chrysonis bumper to bumper. They've not really dropped Tefel. Oh dear, well, he's already got a 10-second penalty. And Nick Strickler now going off the circuit. A bit of a self-penalisation there. Car 27 with 5-second penalty for track limits. We understand that the 27 car was involved in that first lap collision that took out Jack Davidson. And now with the track limits penalty as well, Simone Giussani. Oh no! Rahala with suspension damage there. That's on the exit of turn 5, and you could see there that the car's toe-in was all wrong, and I just wonder whether that's going to be yet another full-course yellow, because that was in the gravel, but it certainly wasn't out of the firing line. We'll have to see. Chrysonis and Siortsis run down towards turns 4 and 5, and just maybe getting word that it was turn 7 where we saw that car off the circuit. Indeed, there isn't a car at turn 5, so it might well be turn 7 as full course yellow comes out again. I think it is turn 7, unfortunately, where the 90 car has come unstuck, and on lap 12 of the race it's going to take quite the fast bit of work from our crews to get this done efficiently. Of course, there is also the consideration of the overtime rule here. We do have the ability to bolt 2 laps on to make sure we finish under green. We'll see what comes of this then. This is lap 12 of the race, so they have 3 laps to go next time by. Dubek and Linster have been doing a great job. Dubek has been managing the gap and he and Linster have pulled away from the rest of the field. It's been a real showcase of what the Hendricks Motorsport machinery can do. They'll be hoping, again, that this is just a full course yellow and nothing more. The fans keeping a watching brief over the situation then. And look at Linster. He's weaving around behind Martin Dubek saying, I'm there, you know. And we'll see when this race resumes. The trusty Land Rover Defender looks like it might be called into service here. Failing that, the tractor will do its job, but I think we're on course to get this race back underway and green before too long. Some bodywork down there as well at Curva Grande, but well offline. But as one would expect, the signs of all the action do build up across the race distance. Rahala's car now being removed. And some breakfast on the fly for some of our marshals as well. I also had the grill on this morning. Hopefully everyone has their hearty meal in. The marshals do a great job. Full course yellow, I suspect, will be lifted before too long then, with Rahala's car now effectively removed from the scene of his stoppage. And sure enough, race control just telling our drivers to be ready for the countdown to limiters off. And we're back to racing. Green flag, we're underway once again. Dubek and Linster then one more time going head to head. And Linster looking racy as we return to green flag conditions. Let's see if he's got one more move in him. Linster's been there watching from second place. Of course, for him, Dubek could well be the primary title rival once all things are said and done. So teammates notwithstanding, Linster would want to avoid something like, well, a double win for Martin Dubek. He doesn't want Dubek to have the momentum that would grant him. Top two head into turn 15. This time they will begin the penultimate lap. Lap 14 of the race will begin here. Curious to see whether there's been any more shuffling around the 5th place region, because of course with them all so close together, as they come off the limiters, the order can shift around significantly. One driver is a little bit late to come off the limiter. Dubek and Linster split by just about a second. It looks like Dubek just has the pace in that number 7 car, the Orion-backed machine. Ford Mustang body versus Toyota Camry body. Of course, these cars, mechanically speaking, are identical. The engines are the same. The chassis are the same. Only the bodywork differs them. There is the 46 and the number 1. So this is the battle for 5th position. Chrysonis still ahead of Siortsis. Marzi away down the road in 7th place, as looking to the inside there once again was Siortsis. He looks braver on the brakes, he looks more confident on the brakes, but he's just not found a way past Chrysonis so far in this race. Marzi, Erkley and Florian Richard there running in tandem. Good to see Jack Davidson at the back of the field as well, back out there on circuit. He rejoined the race after pitting with damage. Also joining the race quite late was Victor Neumann, a couple of laps down, but he's running as well. And of course, he'll be back out in EuroNASCAR Pro as well. It's just good to see that the 47 car is actually out there and racing. Through they go at turn 13-14. Chrysonis and Siortzis in this battle for 5th position. Our race leaders already, though, onto the final lap of the race. Some gravel has been kicked up there by somebody ahead. That might have been Melvin de Groot pushing the limits a little bit. Or perhaps Thomas Tuffel, actually. That would make more sense. Tuffel in 4th place, of course, just ahead of these two. 1.5 seconds between Dubek and Linster. Linster looks like he has backed off. Siortzis definitely hasn't, but he's still not finding a way past Thomas Chrysonis. Looked to the inside at turn 4, couldn't get it done there. And that really scrubbed his momentum through the corners and subsequently out onto the long straight towards Campagnano turn 7 as well. Time is running out for Siortzis. I think he's got the quicker car underneath him. He's just not found the right opportunity. And with just a few corners remaining, that opportunity may not come at all. 20 seconds up the road from these two is our race leader, Martin Dubek. And Dubek will be just a couple of corners away from securing the race victory. Chrysonis and Siortzis head into the final sector, and now heading into the final corner is Martin Dubek. Eases it through turn 15 for the final time. It's a perfect weekend. 2 race victories for Martin Dubek. That winning feeling is back. That momentum is back in Martin Dubek's favour. Linster takes 2nd place, then de Groot has crossed the line to take 3rd. Tuffel will be 4th place. And then Chrysonis and Siortzis 5th and 6th. Next up, Marzi makes his way across the line. Mario Ercole is just going to hold off Florian Richard. And then rounding out the top 10, the racing legend, Mikael Bleekemolen, will get a solid result out of that race as well. There is your top 10. Dominic Schuck is across the line in 11th place. Van Laar in 12th place, etc., etc. But Martin Dubek has done it again for Hendricks Motorsport. There is your top 10 in full. And lots of drivers with good reason to be excited after this weekend. We've seen some of the best performances out of the likes of Mario Ercole that we've seen so far in EuroNASCAR, and Thomas Chrysonis as well. But this man, Martin Dubek, has had the perfect weekend. Seems like just about everybody kept it together in terms of track limits as well, which is good to see. Certainly not an easy race for everybody, but Dubek and Linster made it look easy at the front in their Hendricks Motorsports machines. A 1-2 for Hendricks yet again. It's a perfect weekend for Hendricks as well, given they were 1-2 yesterday with Dubek and Linster also. Momentum very much with Hendricks in EuroNASCAR Pro right now, or EuroNASCAR 2 right now. And their drivers in EuroNASCAR Pro later on, one of whom is Martin Dubek, the other, of course, being Liam Hazemans. We'll have something to live up to, certainly, when we go racing later on in EuroNASCAR Pro. Dubek pulls in to victory lane. We'll soon be greeted by Andre, by the lenses of our photographers and videographers, and by the adoring fans. Some very good pom-pom work as well. Andre Comes Martin out, and we'll coordinate him leaving the car, making sure our photographers get the all-important pictures.
Okay. Let's go!
And Martin Dubeck is welcomed onto the roof to celebrate his race win. Very reserved man is Martin, but the spring in his step has certainly been restored with these results that he's been having so far this year. Feels like a bit of a rejuvenation for Dubeck. He will leave Vallelunga with a comfortable championship lead. I believe Linster will have done enough to move up to second in the points as well, so that's going to be a really useful day for Hendricks Motorsport. Perfect weekend for Hendricks, 1-2s in both races, and a perfect weekend for Martin Dubeck. 2 race wins, 2 full hauls of points. Andre is with him.
What I had to pick up is this, and this one is going to Martin Dubeck again. The perfect sweep, the perfect weekend for you here at Autodromo di Vallelunga.
Yeah, nice feeling again in the podium, and I won again, so I'm really happy again, and still one race where I will start from P3, so I hope another podium. I will do my best for that. I really like this track, so it's amazing. Also the fans are really nice to hear it here, and yeah, we have it, and championship leader again, so nice feeling.
Next time, Brand Setch, and you will be the man to beat and the top championship contender. How does it feel to be on top of the standings?
That's nice. I have no words. It's nice. Next race in Brands Edge, I like it too much also there. So I think that it should be easy like here.
All right. Find some space for that, please. Back to you, Adam.
He's at risk of running out of space if he keeps winning that much, isn't he? The sticker getting applied to Martin Dubeck's car. 3rd one of the season. 3 race wins so far. Of course, last year we saw that with Paul Giffreau. The space was running out as he carried on winning races in both EuroNASCAR 2 and EuroNASCAR Pro. Start applying them to the bonnet or something. You won't run out of space there. The big V8 under the hood of these machines. But Martin Dubeck's number 7 Mustang from Hendricks Motorsport looking resplendent. And definitely a resplendent weekend for the Hendricks team. Equally, a really good return to form as well in this race from Melvin de Groot, who has potentially missed some opportunities so far this year. Been involved in some incidents so far this year. He bounced back to 3rd place in that race. A welcome return to the overall podium, as well as the Legend Trophy victory. Fans watch on as the drivers prepare for the podium. And Jill Linster is with Andre.
Yes, thank you so much, Adam. Jill, almost, right?
Yeah, that was close, but yeah, I struggled a little bit in the last sector. I was so happy gaining in sector 1, sector 2, and then I lost, actually all my time in the 3rd sector. Great race by Martin, no mistake, just super difficult to catch him today.
I talked in the live streaming about a maybe upcoming signature move if you're going to win a race. Is it ready for Brands Edge?
We will see it and know it if I win the next race.
All right, but it will be coming then.
Yeah, it will be coming for sure.
Okay, we keep it a secret for till now. Thank you so much, Jill. 2nd place again, one of the top championship contenders in EuroNASCAR 2. Back to you, Adam.
Some interesting discussions going on as to what the weather might do in the EuroNASCAR Pro race later on. We'll have to see whether Andre's cowboy hat meteorology can do anything for us on that front ahead of the EuroNASCAR Pro race. Bikers are in town, the muscle car enthusiasts are in town. This is the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series, a celebration of all things American motor and a celebration of our talents like Melvin de Groot, who is with Andre.
Finally back on top of the Legend Trophy, and a really, really good race for you, but you had to battle really hard for it, right?
Well, it was a bit disappointing the last weekend and the first race. We had the pace all weekend, and so it was very frustrating. So I paid a lot of attention, so not to get hit this time by anybody. Fighting my way into the front. Once I was in position 3, I just focus, and go as fast as I can. Till I had a gap of, I don't know, a couple of seconds, and I knew, okay, now let's take it a bit easy and make sure I get the third place, finally.
All right, thank you so much. Congratulations and have fun on the podium.
Yeah, thank you.
Back to you, Adam. All right.
Victory lane, where we're seeing all of these interviews. We've heard from our overall podium. All 3 drivers seem really happy with their progress. Of course, only Martin Dubeck has more racing to do today here among the overall podium. He'll be back in that number 7 car in the EuroNASCAR Pro Race. It's nice when people aren't camera shy, isn't it? Hi, guys. Our fans already queuing up here this morning. It'll be even fuller when the EuroNASCAR Pro Race begins. Of course, a lot of the fans get the opportunity to walk the grid and see the cars and the drivers up close and personal when we go racing. Or before we go racing in EuroNASCAR Pro, which is one of the great features of the series. Even before the first race of the weekend, I saw a few fans walking around with some of the excess Hoosier tyres from the practice sessions as well. Opportunities to buy merchandise or indeed leave with a unique memento here in the EuroNASCAR paddock. And the Italian fans are always keen to lap up these festivities. Sounds like we might be getting our podiums underway in the next few moments. Of course, we will start with our overall podium. Will be hopefully in a couple of minutes' time. Of course, we'll also have a championship presentation as well for the championship leader, that being Martin Dubeck. Something interesting to note as well is I think Patrick Schauber had a couple of visits to pit lane during that race. So Schauber, hopefully, with the RDV competition car working well now. Of course, Paul Giffreau will be hoping for that later on in the EuroNASCAR Pro Race. And that sounds like we're maybe starting to welcome drivers towards the podium. Although everyone's looking away from the podium. I wonder what's going on over there. Aha! Ariana Casoli is what's going on. She's going to make her way to the podium, of course, for the Lady Trophy presentation. Excellent. He is a respected member of the racing community here in EuroNASCAR and was racing National Series in Italy for many years prior to that, so I imagine she has a little bit of a following among the Vallelunga faithful for sure.
Grande Sergione, rivogliamo la Signore di Vallelunga.
Our local MC has, well, perhaps not stolen Andre's hat. Maybe they're in abundance this weekend. Not one my size, unfortunately. Getting the crowd hyped up for the podium.
Fotografi rimpiccati lassù, salutiamoli.
Fans awaiting the drivers up there. Of course, Not just the overall podium, but also the Legend Trophy, which was won, of course, by Melvin de Groot. And the Rookie Trophy won by Valerio Marzi. Ariana Casoli's the winner in the Lady Trophy as well. So drivers will be making their way up there shortly, hopefully.
Abbiamo bisogno di Valerio Marzi e Mario Ercoli. Pronti? 1, 2, 3.
I heard Valerio Marzi and Mario Ercoli getting called there. I wonder if that's chaps you're needed for trophies. That might be what he's doing, actually. Of course, the driver's always hard to herd. It's easy for Martin Dubek because he pulls up next to the podium. Everybody else, it's up for debate quite how long it will take them to find their way upstairs into the podium. Very good dog, sir. Imola once had Formulino the cat, and I suppose that's the Vallelunga dog then. Hendricks Motorsport number 7 car, of course, was once driven by Boris Hasemans. These days the sole domain of Martin Dubek. That's been the case in 2022, 2023 and now in 2024 as well. Dubek certainly gets a shift in across the 4 races, as do any of our drivers that double stint across the 2 categories. A lot of improvements have been made to these cars to make them a little bit more user-friendly for the driver, but the heat still certainly is a factor. You see that roof scoop on the car, on the roof now, which is there to add some more cooling for our drivers. The brief for the 2024 updates were about adding durability as well as drivability. Improvements made to the springs, the suspension setup, some new vents for the motor as well, and more importantly that roof scoop, I'm sure, doing the drivers a lot of favours as the heat and humidity builds across the summer.
Allora, qui sotto 1, 2, 3. Andiamo. Andiamo, EuroNASCAR 2 race.
Ooh, that's going to be my OCD no favours. Why did Martin do that to the first sticker? Oh, they're different ones, I think, actually. They're different designs. That might explain it. They're not on evenly, though. That doesn't go well with me.
La terza posizione per Melvin de Groot.
Melvin de Groot is here to finally kick off podium proceedings. Gilles Linster, second on the podium, and here comes your winner, Martin Dubek. Now, the national anthem of the Czech Republic.
questo era l'inno nazionale, adesso ci sono i premi, verranno presentati da Defcon Services. Per quanto riguarda la terza posizione, introduce il premio.
Time for the trophy presentation then. The group receiving his third place trophy. Always looks happy to be rewarded for his efforts. It's been a little while since we've seen Melvin on the podium overall now. Gil Linster once again second place. 2 P2s for him at this weekend. Liking the NHRA jacket as well on the podium presenter there. That is, of course, Loco. And he just clocked the fit. Very good. Martin Dubek, though, receives his P1 trophy. And they will now be looking to get some pictures together before we move on to our next podium. Look at that, hordes of fans cheering on the EuroNASCAR 2 drivers this morning here at Vallelunga. Some personnel even up on the trucks. I think that might actually be some of our photographers getting the money shot from quite a way away. And now they can celebrate. Dubek still has to go racing later on. For Melvin and for Jill, it's time to really begin the celebrations. And Martin, you were too slow there, friend. Oh, gosh. The scent of champagne will perpetuate his return to the cockpit then in EuroNASCAR Pro. The Double V Racing team pushing Simone Giussani's car away. That lost the bodywork on the rear on the first lap of the race. And now presenting the championship leader once again with the red Whelen banner. Still championship leader Martin Dubek, and that championship lead a lot larger than it was just 48 hours ago. Could Dubek become a two-time EuroNASCAR 2 champion? Well, if this form continues, you'd be hard-pressed to argue against him. Next up, we'll have the Legends Trophy drivers out there on the circuit. It will be Sven van Laar who is out there first. Of course, driving the 54 car. That local hero, Gianmarco Ercoli, will be driving in just a couple of hours' time in EuroNASCAR Pro.
Andiamo con la terza posizione per Sven van Laar. La seconda per Miguel.
There is Sven van Laar taking the third step of the podium. Second place to Mikael Blekemolen. But Melvin de Groot, a two-time podium finisher today. Both in the overall ranks and, of course, here in Legend Trophy. No Claudio Remeggio Capelli today. Hopefully they can get that car repaired. The number 5 Academy Motorsport car before Brands Hatch, but I'm understanding it may even need a new chassis after the incident with Claudio Remeggio Capelli yesterday. He was okay, but the car certainly was not. And let's hope that he can join us again before too long. Melvin receives the P1 trophy in Legend Trophy. His Legend Trophy title defense finally begins in earnest. And while photos are taken on the podium, Martin Dubeck is greeting some local fans. And they're getting some pictures in there as the Legend Trophy top three celebrate a very strong day of racing in EuroNASCAR 2. All three of them are finished with their racing duties for today. None of those guys are racing in EuroNASCAR Pro. Same applies, in fact, to everyone in this podium coming up as well. The rookie trophy podium. Florian Richard will be the third man, or the first man up there, finishing third within the rookie trophy classification today. Mario Ercoli coming on leaps and bounds. Second place today in rookie trophy. Valerio Marzi rounding out the podium there on the top step. Getting to celebrate a good result. A Vict Motorsport 1-2, of course, in rookie trophy as well. Good day for the Italian team, certainly. Seeing their two young talents up there in the spotlight. And so, as this podium concludes, we are going to, I believe, sign out of this one in just a few seconds, but hopefully we'll just get to see the drivers receiving their trophies. It's been a very exciting weekend in EuroNASCAR 2. Certainly the story of the championship is starting to show itself in EuroNASCAR 2. Martin Dubeck with a perfect weekend. Hendricks Motorsport with a perfect weekend. And our last silverware of the EuroNASCAR 2 broadcast goes to Valerio Marzi. The EuroNASCAR 2 Rookie Trophy drivers celebrate. And we wish you farewell for now. We will be back, though, with EuroNASCAR Pro in just a couple of hours. Make sure you join us for more racing action.
Grazie. Adesso abbiamo l'ultima consegna su dell'altro. Grazie. Allora, andiamo a premiare adesso la Lady e voglio un applauso, pieghiamo le casse. La Lady dell'EuroNASCAR, Arianna Casoli. E a premiarla c'è Federico Pamela. Fanbase 1, 2, 3. Grazie, andate davanti. eccola, lei, Arianna Casoli. Un applauso a tutto lo staff NASCAR American Festival of Rome, ma noi siamo in pista nuovamente, grazie, 1, 2, 3 per le ombrelline, 1, 2, 3, oh!